Welcome back, my friends. Welcome to Lansby Gaming. Okay, it's been a while since I posted a video on this channel. It's been a minute since I just let my Fallout 76 just expire, the subscription expire. I'm going to wait until season 18. I got a free month for that. I'll knock it out. It was September 3rd, I think it's supposed to the new season 18. But during the meantime, I want to play some Fallout. So I'm going back to Fallout 4. And I saw this one video a few weeks ago, and I stored it in my one watch later category. And I checked it out today. I was like, I'm going to check out Fallout 4 today. And I have to say, it's a content creator named Garberly. I probably mispronouncing it. I apologize. Garberly made a video. Check out the channel, by the way. Subscribe, like. If you have a Patreon, check out their Patreon, of course, obviously. Came out with a fantastic video. I tested it out because I was really curious. I wanted to go back to Fallout 4, but I've played it so many times, just like I'm sure a lot of you have. And after you played, the vanilla, you probably, like me, or maybe not, like when I first played it, I played it with no mods, just the original vanilla Fallout. Before I was able to get the Game of the Year edition, I just had the original Fallout. Even though the other DLCs were available, that's all GameStop had was the original, with not the Game of the Year edition. So I had to go with what I had to go with, plus it was only $7. So after playing the vanilla, and I was like, okay, that's fun and all that, and then start getting the mods and doing that for so many years, I just kind of like, okay, I had to get away and go to Fallout 76 because I was so sick of Boston. I wanted to see something new. Now I've played about over a year now of Fallout 76, and I still love Fallout 76. I just like the night. I love the greenery and stuff like that, and just the getting all the rewards and something new. And I love my little build I have over there in Fallout 76. It's so cute. It's a Southern style house. It's so cute. I love it. So I wanted to come back here, but I wanted to spruce it up, jazz it up. I wanted something different. I wanted a new experience, but I didn't know what, because I knew there's the new update we just had, not the beginning of the year. I knew there was a bunch of new mods that just came out. I'm subscribed to quite a few Fallout YouTubers. Juicehead, I think, is one of them, and a few others. And I always see their thumbnails, new mods and all that for Fallout 4. So a couple weeks ago, I ran upon this on my recommended. Making Fallout 4 feel new again with 50 plus mods for Xbox and PC. Now, this is for Xbox players and PC players. I'm an Xbox Series X player, so I thought this is perfect because sometimes I'll see some of these videos and they'll mostly have a lot of like PlayStation and not very a lot of Xbox, or more PC over Xbox. So this one is actually Xbox and PC. Actually, it's predominantly Xbox because the content creator is an Xbox user, he stated in the video. So I was like, this is perfect. This is the perfect person I wanted to hear from, because you have the same console as me, this guy right here. So I checked it out today. Finally, I checked out the mod list, and we'll go over it right now, because we'll just go over the mods. If you guys want to watch the whole video, I'll leave the link down below. But right now, I just want to show you what I thought was fantastic about this mod list. And there was a couple things that I had issues. Well, there was some issues on Bethesda's part, not with the content creator, because I'm sure the mods were all there the day he created this video. Now, there's a couple mods that are not working after this video. I noticed they're in work in progress, and they'll have little disclaimers of lots of glitchiness. and I'll let you know on that. And then I'll let you know some of the mods that he didn't have on here that I added, and a certain gripe to Bethesda and the mods people about a certain mod that I still have issues with till this day. Of 5 years of playing this damn game, I still have issues of this one single mod, and we'll get to that. But before we do, show love to Gabrielle for making this video, and let's check this out, and like and subscribe and all the good stuff. Please do. We're trying to build up this channel to 1,000 subscribers so we get monetized finally, and it will help some wonderful. And check out my main channel, Let's Be Game, Let's Be Reacting. I do a lot of we do a reactor spot where we check out reactors. So let's check out this video, and here we go.
Mods, here's some ground rules. I did this on an Xbox Series X, and yes, all of these mods fit within the 2 GB storage allowance on Xbox. Now, I will warn you, this is about 55 mods that we're going to install here, so if you have an older Xbox, it might not run super great. You also, of course, don't have to install all of them, but just be careful about what you choose to remove because some of the things are dependent on each other. As for PC, don't worry, 99% of these mods are Nexus ports, so you'll still be able to use the mod pack. The load order for these mods is down in the description, so make sure that they are listed in that order in your game. Now, I know a few of you might be like,
that's the one big thing. Yes, that's one big thing I had to learn when I first start using mods, because I will have such issues and not realize that there's an order to these mods. So if you're a newbie and you're just throwing mods, you're just, oh, I like this and I like this, there's a rhyme and reason. Always read the description, because a lot of times the description will let you know you'll need a certain, like, you'll need another mod for this, or, you know, to accompany another mod, you know, like an add-on or whatever they call, I can't even think of right now. But a replacer or something like that, or, you know, whatever. But always read the description. Always do. I learned that the hard way. It's just kind of like, oh, just it's a mod. What's the big thing? Does it need to be in order? Why wouldn't it be in order? You learn. You learn.
Too many mods, I'm out of here. And while I don't disagree with you in the slightest, just take a look at some of this gameplay.
The train will be arriving at this platform in
Yeah.
Please remain clear of the track.
See, that snow looks good. I have yet to see the sun yet. First day out of the Vault 11 this morning, I was just testing it out. Cloudy, overcast. I was like, damn. But inside the vault, when you get out, it is so much like the light. I do have to admit, between the update they had, and I'm sure some of the mods that we'll say G. I know I want to say Gerber, like Gerber baby food. So, or Garberly. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. I'll say it Garberly. Anyway, just deal with it. And the shadow, the lighting, in the vault was so much ominous, so much more ominous than it was when I first. Before it's kind of bright and kind of lit up. This one, when you get using these mods, I don't know if it's addition to the update, but just like that scene right there, it's a lot darker. It's a lot eerier, which I really enjoy. There was one thing I noticed right out of the gate, on top of being overcast the first time I get out of the Vault 111, as soon as I cross over the bridge, a radiation storm hit. Really intense. I was like, holy shit. I almost felt like it was almost, I was using that mod. Was it something weathers? I can't even think of it. But that one weather mod, it reminded me of that. But I did notice one thing. It was kind of threw me off guard at first. When it started, like the initial like strength of that radiation storm, you hear a siren in the background. At first, I thought it was Silent Hill for a second. I really thought I was going to see Pyramid Head come around the corner. It was, I don't know if that's part of that mod, but as soon as it like that radiation storm hit, I hear a siren. Like it was outside, like you hear one of those big sirens during a tornado warning. It was wild, but it was really cool too. But it threw me off guard. But I was like, oh, okay. Well, I wasn't really anticipating that. So if it's one of those mods that you picked out, Garbly, work. I have to admit that was really cool. Tech Fortress, I'm not in the mood for the bullshit right now. Why not? Right when I always want to record.
You in? Okay, sweet. Let's get started. I'm going to split this into 5 sections based on what the mods, well, modify. First up, we have the game world. The Commonwealth is a varied and detailed map filled with plenty of great landmarks, interesting locations, and environmental storytelling. But after years of playing,
Not the shooting in the face.
it begins to become a little dull exploring the same places and looking at the same landscape. This section aims to change that. First and most notable, we have Green in the Commonwealth. This is one of, if not the best greenery mod in Fallout 4. It not only adds leaves, foliage, and grass, but also vines and overgrowth that really give it that Last of Us type feel. The mod also doesn't give every tree leaves, so it still kind of retains that post-apocalyptic feel. Next.
That's a good mod. That was a good mod. I did notice that. That was a very, very good mod.
We have Project Apocalyptic Commonwealth. This one is pretty cool. It adds more realism to some of the towns and cities in the game, adding stuff like barricades, more bodies, and far more evidence of a military presence and widespread panic before the bombs fell, making all of these locations not only fresh to explore, but also more rich with a story and realism elements. It also does a full revamp of Vault 111, which looks way more interesting than it did before. It's been 200 years. There should be more stuff everywhere. Next up, we have...
I do like that mod too. That mod's been around for a good minute. I remember that mod being around before I got my Xbox Series X. And I wanted to use that mod so bad but my Xbox couldn't really handle it. This one I noticed some stutters too. I did notice some little bit of stutters. It will stutter a little bit when you're getting right into Concord. I will let you guys know that with my system, I did get some stutter. Like it kind of like pause for a second and then just keep going. But it was only for like a second or two, but it was just like, oh, I thought it was going to crash. But it just paused and kept on going. And it was just like 2 or 3 seconds, like I said, nothing big, but you kind of wonder, especially with Bethesda, you kind of wonder if it's going to crash. So, but no, it didn't. It handled it, but it did kind of have a couple of hiccups, let's just say. A couple of burps. But other than that, it wasn't really that like a big of a deal. But there is a lot of stuff. The only thing that I do agree with it's nice to see a lot more stuff, but it's so funny though, because when you're playing the vanilla game, you're running to the vault. You don't see all that stuff. But when you exit the vault, you see all this stuff all of a sudden. When you enter the vault, when everything was going to hell, none of that stuff was there. But other than that, you could that's meaningless. But I thought that was kind of funny. But as far as the detail work, whoever that mod author was, chef's kiss on. They did a fantastic job. You saw. That took a lot of time to make it look like just so good.
We have our 3 big location mods: Plenty O Exploration, Crowded Commonwealth, and Caves of the Commonwealth.
Now I've had plenty of exploration. I've used that one in the past. I like that one. I've never used the Crowded Commonwealth mod. So this is the first time I've going to use this mod, so I'm really interested in that one. I've never used the Caves of the Commonwealth either, so I'm really excited to see how that mod works too. So I'm looking forward to it. And I do notice the caves are a lot like darker and just ominous and eerie, and you really need that Pip-Boy light. You really utilize it a lot more.
These three don't overhaul any locations like PAC does, but instead add brand new ones to otherwise empty spots in the world. Plentio Exploration adds a bunch of new interior locations to what were previously just boring-ass boarded-up doors. Each of these locations is custom made with their own loot and story elements and are a ton of fun to explore. Crowded Commonwealth adds a whole bunch of new exterior locations to barren areas of the map, sprucing it up and adding some more random encounters while exploring. Finally, Caves of the Commonwealth adds 5 more unique caves to the map that you can discover and explore. You can find a map to all of them in this cave up here. All of these new locations have their own loot and storytelling, and some of them are pretty darn cool. Sound.
The one I had, the Plentio, whatever that one is, that first one, Plentio Spaces Explorer, they have some really cool locations. Now, there's some shops, that first shop, you see him walk into, I always have issues with that one's always so glitchy with me for some reason. The other houses or the doorways in Concord never give me issues. But that door that he showed you is like almost like a flower shop or wherever it is on that end building right there. I'll just say it right here.
Ton of fun to explore. Crowded comes to what were previously just boring in Caves of the Commonwealth. These three don't overhaul any locations like PAC does, but instead add brand new ones to otherwise empty spots in the world. Plentio Exploration.
This one right here. This building right here. This is the one I'm talking about. For some reason, this one always, sometimes I'll crash. I'll crash sometimes in this one. But the other ones in the Concord, I don't have issues with. But this particular one, not all the time. Not every time. I'm not saying every time, but just like when I expect it, it doesn't happen. When I'm just like, when I have to go back in there and be like, try to grab more loot and just want to run around and try to get back to the sanctuary, that's when I want to crash when I'm least expected. But yeah, that's the only thing. The only issue I ever had with that mod in particular.
Sound.
There were some good mods.
Having come out in 2014, the sound effects in this game are just a little dated, and a lot of it doesn't surprise me anymore. This section is meant to update it a little. Faded Glory. Don't get me wrong, the soundtrack in this game is fantastic, but like everything else, after a certain number of hours, you get tired of the same old tracks.
That's for sure.
Faded Glory is a soundtrack replacer that has over 80 tracks of new music added into the game. And they're actually really good. There's a lot of use of saxophone and piano that definitely give that wasteland wandering feel.
We're always believing, never ceasing, future shapers.
American Dream Radio Season. Like everything else. And they're actually really good.
I didn't mean to. Okay, like I said, Faded Glory was a mod I have used before, and I really love that Faded mod. The only times I always took it off is because it was like 89 megabytes, and I wanted to get an outfit to replace. Look, I didn't say all my choices of mods. It would be like, oh, you rather have an outfit from like, it was a new one. It was the Cyberpunk 2077 outfit that one mod author came out with. Cross, I think it goes by. Yeah, so I wanted to make some room for some megabytes so I can get that outfit instead of the Faded Glory. I remember that one in particular just because it was Cyberpunk 2077 outfit. Now the next one he's going to put up, I never even used that one, and I'm going to listen to it a little bit more tomorrow. The American Dream one, so far sounds pretty good. Let's keep going.
American Dream Radio Seasons. Again, Diamond City Radio is chock full of bangers, but they can get a little old. American Dream Radio is a brand new radio station that features over 40 new songs.
Ooh.
Pebbles, no. Features over 40 new songs that are not only time period friendly, but are also season based, meaning different songs will play according to the in-game season. And yes, Christmas music plays during the winter. Clicker
Get out.
field ghouls.
Oh, that's
I think the
cool.
ghoul sounds in this game are fine, but they lack in a couple areas. Now, there are a lot of mods to do this, so it really is up to your preference, but I personally love the clicker field ghouls. Like it says on the tin, it changes the ghoul sounds to those of the clickers from The Last of Us, making them way freakier.
Oh, that is freaky. Oh, that is freaky.
Commonwealth Warfare explosions. I won't sugarcoat this one, the explosion sounds in this game are not great. They are very dull and not super punchy aside from the mini nuke explosion. This mod changes all those sounds to a much more dramatic and surprising explosion with cracks and sounds of shrapnel flying.
Jesus.
It'll even make your ears ring if you're too close, which I think is cool. But if you don't like that feature, don't worry, there's also a version without the ringing effect. Scarier Geiger counter.
I was exposed to that one earlier. One of the mods that you'll have on here is the RPG, and I forgot that's on the level list. And you know, when you have to go down to and help out Preston at that museum, you know, to go and fight that dude. Well, that dude from Corvega, 2-piece or 10-piece, whatever his name was, had the RPG. So when that whizzed right by me and hit right by, I heard that explosion. That explosion was very crisp and very loud, but I did like it. So that was a good choice. That was a good choice.
This one is simple. It makes the Geiger counter more threatening. Kind of cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bullet impact overhaul. One of the big things I wanted to tackle in this mod pack was making the combat feel more dangerous. When you're in a gunfight in Fallout 4, it can be a little dull sometimes, and this is one of the mods that aims to fix that. All this does is make the bullet impact sound effects much punchier and louder to make gunfights feel like a gunfight.
Oh, yeah. I did notice that. I didn't really pay too much mind to it until after you pointed that out. Yeah, I did notice that with the that Beretta more so than anything else I noticed. Well, I use the Beretta more often because I had it.
This one works really well and will actually have you ducking down and running for cover when you start getting shot at.
Yeah.
Visuals.
I noticed I was taking cover a lot more. I never did that too much before. I never felt that threat. But with that, I noticed with that it is punchier. I did notice I was ducking for cover a lot, really making that useful.
All right, listen up, because this next one is huge. NACX, or Natural and Atmospheric Commonwealth X. Before I found this mod, I didn't have a good lighting mod. I had a weather mod called True Storms, but
True Storms, that's the one.
it would lag the game to hell whenever it stormed, and overall it just wasn't the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not kidding when I tell you that this one mod replaced 5 separate mods that I had because it could do all of what they could do and then some. NACX gives you beautiful new skyboxes, really good weather with configurable seasons, super impressive graphical enhancements to the game world. I mean, look at this. I have never seen this game look this good on console. It adds a bunch of new rad storms which are insane, ranging from some of the more mundane to the absolutely absurd. And it works beautifully with the seasonal radio mod because now the weather will correspond with the music that is playing on the radio. Now this needs some tweaking when you enter the game because there are a whole lot of features and some of them can get a little annoying. You can do whatever you want with the settings, but if you want to know what works best with the mod pack, here are my personal preferences on the settings. First, open up your apparel menu and select NACX settings and then exit your Pip-Boy to activate it. First, go into NACFX and then to effects and boost the saturation and the sunlight intensity a little bit. This helps the game look better. Then go into visual settings and disable adaptation. Next, go into weathers and select manage weathers. Go to rad storms and ban the time warp and the fallout rad storm. The reason for this is because these rad storms are just a little too crazy in my opinion, as the time warp storm will randomly put you in slow motion and the fallout storm does this.
Ollie and Anna seemed so perfect. And what people didn't know was she was screaming for help.
So, yeah. Then go back to the main weather page and go into climate and seasons and set it to game time based seasons. This will line up the weather with the current in-game season and allow it to function alongside your season-based radio. Lastly, go back to the main menu and go into NAC settings. Disable night brightness, interior override, and then under NAC options, disable chem FX, cloud shadows, fake interior darkening, radiation FX, and complex hit FX. Some of these conflict with other mods in the mod pack, and others I just find annoying or unnecessary. Again, totally up to you. Got it? Alright, let's get back on track.
I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot. I didn't even think about that. I saw that and I was trying to click onto it, but you have to exit out. That's how you turn it. Okay, I wasn't doing it right though. That answers my question, but I'm going to do that. I want to do that. I want to check that out. I want to say, wow, that nuke storm. That's interesting how they came up with that one. I didn't think the NACX did all that. That's really cool.
Darker nights. Does what it says on the tin. Nights are much darker and therefore give you a reason to actually sleep. I don't think I ever slept in my first playthrough of this game because I was always like, oh, my character isn't tired. And oh, what? It's nighttime? Well, I can see perfectly fine. I'm sorry. Is the moon on fire? Interior is enhanced. This is a small...
It was the moon on fire. That's fun. No, you're right. That is good. Now I didn't get the 0. I didn't do the 0. I like to see a little bit. I did the 3. I did like the medium. I didn't do, I just kind of did like in between. I saw the 0 and I've done the 0 and I've always had issues with the 0. And plus I don't want it really that dark. I don't want it that is dark. That is dark. It is dark. If you wanted that dark, that's great. But mine's a 3. I did the level dark of 3. That's dark enough. That gets dark. That gets dark for me. I still like to see a little bit. But yeah, I did notice I would about 8-9 o'clock. I would definitely start running back to Sanctuary, and I don't even want to use my fast travel that much. I just want to actually try to run back to Sanctuary. Like I said, I just started playing today, so I'm in Concord. That's as far as I am. If I was like in Diamond City, I wouldn't be running back to Sanctuary like some jackalope. But I'm in Concord. Yeah. Anyway.
Overhaul of interior lighting, removing some fog and darkening it in some places, resulting in a massive improvement in quality. All right, now, guns.
I did notice that in the museum, it was a lot dimmer than I was used to. Because actually, when I had to go and start talking to Preston, I could barely see. It was so dark. So I had to turn on my Pip-Boy so I could actually have a little bit of brightness so I could actually see his face. It was kind of dark.
Yes, there's an entire section for guns.
Yeah, there is. There's a whole section of guns, which I have no problem with. I like guns. And there's a lot of guns I never used that he's using, and I was like, oh, let's try them.
One of the first things I got tired of in Fallout 4 were the guns. The way the leveling system works, alongside how little weapons there are actually in this game compared to other Fallout games, made it so that you would just see the same guns over and over every playthrough, and you would never use anything different. This section of the mod pack replaces every single gun in the game with a new one, giving a fresh feel to looting weapons. I went with Cold War era weapons for most of these in order to still stick with some of the theme of Fallout. All of these weapons are also much more powerful than their vanilla counterparts. This was done in order to fix some of the combat issues I had with the game. They aren't too powerful to the point to where you're one-shotting everything, but just to the point where every firefight you get in isn't just a competition of who's the biggest bullet sponge. Higher caliber weapons, and especially shotguns, have gotten a huge buff, because I always hated when I would let loose both barrels of my shotgun point blank on a raider just for them to shake it off and keep shooting. Now it will no longer take 5 rounds from your hunting rifle to kill someone. Alright, here's a quick list of every gun I have added into the game. Ready? lightning round. Double barrel gets replaced by a Mossberg. A submachine gun gets replaced by an Uzi. Combat rifle gets replaced by an AK-74. 10mm gets replaced by an M9. Combat shotgun is replaced by an AA-12. Plasma weapons are replaced by a G11. The laser weapons are replaced by a Mark 18. The rocket launcher is replaced by an RPG. The hunting rifle is replaced by a Mosin. The laser musket is replaced by a laser.
That's the only one I didn't care for, those Mosin. The Mosin takes that's one thing. I've had the Mosin a few times, and I keep on forgetting about the Mosin because the reload is forever. I keep on forgetting that because I was like right up on two guys right up at the museum, and I was like, I ran out of bullets, so that was the only thing I had left. I was like, okay, and then oh my god, don't. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I forgot about this damn gun. But they want to be accurate with. I get it, but it's as far as a appropriate gun for the game, he couldn't pick anything better. As far as that was my only gripe, the reload of that damn gun is just like, I just want to like pull my eyes out.
Garand, and the assault rifle gets replaced with a G3.
That was another thing I was like really excited about. I've seen that mod for the laser Garand, and I wanted to try that out. So when I saw that on this mod list, I was really excited. I was like, ooh, I was like, ooh, that was one of the things I kind of got goosebumps on. I was like, I want to see how that is. Because I like the regular Garand, but I want to try that. I never tried the laser Garand. It looked pretty dope too.
Because Arturo has a G3 on his sign, but there isn't one in the game for some reason. I also added a mod that overhauls the pipe weapons in the game to make them all look more unique from each other and actually homemade instead of looking like they all came out of the same wooden block for gun factory. The only weapons I didn't replace were all the unique ones like the minigun, the broadsider, the flamer, etc. because they all have a special purpose. Also, nothing could effectively replace the Fat Man. That thing is too damn fun.
Yeah.
The gameplay. Here are some changes I made to the gameplay loop of Fallout 4 to add a couple mechanics for you to have fun with. Simple Camping is a simple mod that lets you build small little encampments wherever you want in case you want to sleep through the night and can't find a bed. All you gotta do is make one of these camp nades and then frag out! And boom, you have a little campfire and you can scrap or move some of the objects around the area to build little houses and tents. It's really cool and allows you to make a little place to sleep and escape the night. Plus, every camp you place stays in the game world after you leave, so you can encounter your own camps again and reuse them. This one is honestly so simple, but one of my favorite mods in the pack. It adds such a cool factor to just be able to shack up somewhere for the night. Speaking of night, we have
that, and plus it's not such a megabyte heavy mod like what was the other one, True Camping or wherever it is, or wherever the other one is, which is nice. I like it, it's cool. But this one it's a little bit lighter. It doesn't take up so much space, and I've used it before, and it actually is a pretty good little camping mod. So yeah, I was kind of pleased when I saw he put that in the mod list. Now this Pip-Boy flashlight I couldn't find. I could not find this Pip-Boy flashlight to save my damn life. They were showing me the Westech flashlight. They were showing me every other flashlight for the Pip Pad, but the Pip-Boy flashlight, couldn't find it. If you guys could find it, good for you. I couldn't. I looked under Pip-Boy flashlight. I did without the little line in between, without the little slash in between, with the slash. I did just say flashlight. Nothing. Just Pip-Boy. Nothing. I don't know. He found it. I couldn't find it.
Have the Pip-Boy flashlight mod, which just turns your standard barf green Pip-Boy light into a proper little flashlight to help you see in the now much darker nights. Nice. Westech tactical gloves. A personal gripe I had was I had gotten so tired of seeing those same old hands all the time using the same old guns. I just don't want to look at them anymore. You know what?
That's the reason why he put them. I was like, gloves? Why would you? That makes sense when you put a little context behind it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. After a while, you realize.
Cover them up with these dang ass gloves. Okay, 2 more to go. These ones are big. Start Me Up is an alternate start mod that gives you more options.
Start Me Up. This one is when I looked it up, it wasn't. It's a work in progress. They put it back into a work in progress. They said download it on your own, just in case. So I didn't use this one. Start Me Up Vanilla. I couldn't use this one.
For how to begin your game. If you don't want to have to deal with the main story and all that,
war never changes.
This mod lets you choose exactly who you want to be, whether that's a raider or a Minuteman or a Nuka-Cola collector, where you spawn, your level, how much gear you spawn with, basically crafting your character's own story without having to worry about all that lone survivor stuff. The main storyline is still doable though if you want to do it later.
Okay, we're here.
Now for the final mod. Tales of the Commonwealth. This mod adds over 20 new quests, 125 fully voiced NPCs.
You're welcome to stay, but try not to abuse the privilege.
3 companions with. You can, bro. See how dark those mod. You see how you could. I was like, what can't see. I didn't use this one, the Tales of the Commonwealth. I wanted to, but it is a heavy. It's like over 500 megabytes. It's like 544 megabytes. It's a very heavy mod. So I didn't use this. I used a lot of mods I wanted to use. I wanted to use Theme and Practical for some furniture, some scrappy looking furniture. I got a lot of the mods I used from my previous things that I really love, like Rugged McCready. I usually have my character, McCready's usually my love companion with me. So I always have that Rugged McCready. That doesn't go. I have Place Everywhere. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that first. I'm going to rant. Bethesda, how long? Whoever does the mods over there, I don't understand the Place Everywhere. Why is that so goddamn hard to find? It is like searching for Atlantis, that goddamn mod. Why is that? That is such an essential mod to me, especially if you want to place, if you're trying to build and you're trying to place things in ground so it's just not just hovering over the fucking ground. Place Everywhere is so needed and is so hard to find. It used to be on that category you have on your mod list, like the most popular ones. It used to be on that category. It's no longer on there. You need to have it. Why is it? And let me tell you something. I don't want to hear the bullshit that says, why don't you just type it in? Well, bitch, because the reason why I do type it in, I do fucking type it in. I type it in several different ways and you can never find it. Place Everywhere. Place Anywhere. Place Anything. Place. I just put in the word place. I just put in the word everywhere. Nothing. Big goose egg. Big nada. Big just slap me in the face. You know how I found it? By accident when I was looking for scrap. I was like, not scrap. I was looking for a scrapping mod because I was like, I needed something like, especially in Fallout 76, you can scrap your stuff and still like kind of lighten your carry load so you can keep on going. So I was looking for a scrapping mod. So I put under scrapping or scrap, whatever I typed in. And guess why I found it? Under that. So I don't know what key phrases you have for Place Everywhere. You need to get that shit fixed because I put in Place Everywhere. Specifically, it's only 2 words. 2 words. Nothing. So I put it capital P, capital E, nothing. I put a dash in between it, which it doesn't have a dash in. I put a dash in, nothing. So I put Place Anywhere, like they have the one for PC. PC has the Place Anywhere, nothing. So I put, like I said, place, then everywhere. Fix that shit. Took me 25 minutes to find that mod, and I found it by accident.
With over 1,000 lines of dialogue apiece, with over 12,000 lines of new dialogue total added to the game.
The boss is a real wet rag. But if he wasn't, he wouldn't be the boss.
as well as a ton of new locations.
I thought he was going to shoot that kid. There's been 2 instances there was some dialogue and shot right in the face. I was expecting he's going to shoot that kid in the face.
Locations where these NPCs are located, basically giving you all the activities and fresh experiences to tie together all of the new things added to the game. Yeah, I know, it's pretty huge.
Hey, nice gear you got there. Not that I'm gonna steal it or anything.
This mod is
good though. If you're familiar with Mike Burnfire, that content creator, and Zach Hazard, they play games together and they do Fallout videos. And I've seen some of the Tales of Commonwealth storylines. So if you guys choose to get, if you do, it's worth it. That mod is worth it. They have very good storylines. Whoever did the mod for that really did great storytelling, and they did a great job. Definitely check it out. I just didn't want to do the 544 megabytes, honestly.
is so well made, and all of the new stories and random encounters feel so perfectly Fallout.
All you drunks can appreciate. A shot glass. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Can't I just drink from the bottle? Sure, if you want to kill yourself. This thing's like a measuring cup. It gets you the right amount of drunk without getting wasted. Let's start this baby up at 300.
This is the piece that ties it all together, really, because what else are you going to do in a Fallout game but quests?
Running a brothel?
It's a bar and brothel.
Here we are, at the end. Overall, we have brought new graphics, new weather, new landscape, new locations, new radio, new sound.
It was good. I said, definitely check it out. The guns he chose is really good. Like I said, he chose a lot of. He went over the whole basic thing. There was only a couple of things I didn't use, like I said, and or I just switched around and just kind of tweaked it. Like I said, with the darkness, I didn't want the complete 0. I wanted like in between. I've had that one before, and I like it. I want a dark too, but I don't want it like pitch black. Every time I do it, the reason why I don't like it 0, because every time I always had 0, it has this weird outline effect with everything. Like I get you're supposed to see dog meat if he's away from you, and you're supposed to see his outline, but it doesn't look realistic. It's like this white outline of certain things and stuff. And it kind of, and it makes the screen kind of glitchy for me. Maybe it doesn't happen to him over here, but I've always noticed it never really. But as far as darkness inside the buildings, oh my god, you'll notice a big difference. But I notice a big difference after the patch. Is like when I was creating the character, I almost couldn't. It almost looked a little bit different how the face looked, because you always use the same default look pretty much. I try to make a version of me as best. Well, I'm take some liberties around the waistline, but anyway, that's beside all that. And and muscularity, I took liberties too. But it's a video game; we can take liberties. But other than that, the soundtrack, I really want to get that. The seasons, get that synced up. That's cool. That is cool, because that's one thing I didn't care for about, because when you go in the time, I'll say, oh my god, it's Halloween, or oh my god, it's Christmas Eve. Like, only time you'll really know is when you go to Diamond City. You'll see Halloween decorations, or you'll see Christmas stuff. So that's the only time you'll be like, other than that, if you don't go to Diamond City, I don't know I think that's the only Selma that you ever see it, like holiday type of stuff. Then you won't know. So it's nice that the weather changes, and the radio actually plays music coinciding with the seasons, which I like a lot. So yeah, definitely check this out. I just only played like the first day, like I said. But I like it. I really do. I really like it. And if you use all those mods, if you do find all those mods, which I think like I said, the only one you'll ever have, like I said, you're probably one you'll have issues with is that dialogue one. Uh, for that start me up, like I said, I was looking for that, and the one when I found it, it said they after was it the 25th of last month or the month before. Anyway, they put it back in work in progress because so many glitches or so whatever they said in the description. I can't even talk. So just check that out. Check out that mod and read it and make sure, and then you can deduce what you want to do with that. Because they still have it up, but you know, if it's glitchy, I would take it down for the mod author. But you know, to each his own. But other than that, I think his mod list was really good. And if you use all the things, you still have some space left. No, not with that. Yeah, that's the thing. You have a little space, but it does eat up that Tales of the Commonwealth does eat up a lot of space. That's another reason why I didn't want to do that, because I wanted to. It's true. It's good to do quests and stuff like that, but I wanted to bring in. There was this mods that you can the Institute. I wanted to like change some of the alphas of the Institute, some of the Courser alphas. There's this one Courser mod that overhauls the Coursers, that makes them more powerful, a little bit more, you know, deadly. They use the stealth boys more often than the vanilla game. So and the new weapon that gets added to it, and I got some you know. Anyway, I wanted some outfits, and I wanted to revamp the Raiders. There was a Raider overhaul, and I wanted to overhaul the Sons of Anarchy, the Children of Adam. So those are the ones I wanted to spruce up and overhaul more so than storytelling quests. So I don't do as much quests. I just like killing things. So that's the reason why I was like, quests are fun, you know, of course, but I like just going out and just like my thing is building and getting loot and killing. Those are my favorite things. Building and looting, that's my favorite things. Of course, do the missions and stuff and do the storyline and stuff, but I love like going to the different settlements and build and see what I could do differently than I did the last time and all that. It's just so much fun. Anyway, let me know if you guys checked out this mod. Check out the mod author and check out his channel. Show him some love. And yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And love, peace, and grace. And bye.